Ever wondered how much money one man can make by rescuing kidnapped daughters, commanding gods, and taking down entire armies of bad guys, all before lunch? Well, for Liam Neeson, the answer is jaw-dropping. The Irish-born actor, now one of Hollywood's most dependable powerhouses, has turned his late-career transformation into a billion-dollar empire. As of 2025, Liam Neeson's estimated net worth sits at a staggering $120 million. But what's truly wild is how he earned it, not from awards or prestige dramas, but from pure box office muscle. Over his career, his movies have pulled in over $11 billion worldwide. That's right, $11 billion. And studios have learned one thing very clearly. When Liam Neeson's name is on a poster, audiences show up. It's hard to imagine now, but there was a time when Neeson wasn't seen as an action hero at all. For decades, he was Hollywood's go-to serious actor, Schindler's List, Michael Collins, Kinsey, roles that earned him respect, not necessarily record paychecks. But then, almost overnight, everything changed. One movie turned him into something no one expected, a one-man action franchise. And from that point forward, every punch, every growl, every quiet threat came with a multi-million-dollar paycheck attached. So how did Liam Neeson go from Oscar-nominated actor to the king of late-career action movies? And just how much did he make for those legendary roles? Let's break down the biggest paydays of his career and see how one man's calm, intimidating voice became one of Hollywood's most valuable assets. Let's start with Wrath of the Titans, released in 2012. Neeson returned as Zeus, the king of the gods, in what was the sequel to Clash of the Titans. The movie might not have blown critics away, but it did come with divine compensation. Playing a weary father figure rather than a thunder-throwing deity, Neeson pocketed an impressive $7 million for the role. That's not bad for a film that cost $150 million to make and pulled in a modest $302 million at the box office. But here's the twist. Years later, the film found new life on Netflix, climbing into the platform's top 10 in early 2025. Suddenly, a movie many had forgotten became a surprise streaming hit, proving that when Liam Neeson's face pops up on a screen, people still click play. Even Zeus himself couldn't have planned a better comeback. Then came Battleship, also in 2012, a movie that threw Neeson into a full-blown alien invasion at sea. He played Admiral Shane, the no-nonsense commander trying to save Earth from extraterrestrial destruction. The movie's budget was massive, somewhere around $209 million, and while it didn't exactly conquer the box office, it still pulled in $303 million worldwide. Neeson's role was small, but his presence was essential, the calm in a storm of chaos. For just a few key scenes, he earned a whopping $10 million. Think about that, $10 million for what might have been less than 15 minutes of total screen time. But that's the power of Liam Neeson. He doesn't need to say much to make an impact. Studios pay for that gravitas, that unmistakable voice, and that sense of authority only he can bring. And then came Taken, the movie that changed everything. When Taken hit theaters in 2008, no one expected it to explode. It was made on a modest $25 million budget and was initially meant for a small European release. But once audiences saw Neeson's now iconic speech, "I don't know who you are, I don't know what you want, but what I do have are a very particular set of skills," the entire industry changed overnight. The film made an incredible $226 million worldwide, turning Neeson into an action star at 56 years old. His paycheck, a respectable $5 million, but that was just the beginning. For Taken 2, released in 2012, Neeson's salary skyrocketed. With the first film's success, the studio knew he was the main draw, and they paid accordingly. He earned an incredible $15 million up front as the sequel raked in $376 million globally, more than 15 times its budget. And by the time Taken 3 arrived in 2015, Neeson had become Hollywood's go-to tough guy. His salary jumped again, this time to $20 million. The movie brought in $326 million worldwide, cementing Taken as one of the most profitable action trilogies ever made. Across all three films, Neeson earned around $40 million before taxes. Just think about that, $40 million from a single franchise that wasn't even supposed to exist at first. But the magic of Taken wasn't just the money. It redefined Neeson's entire career. Before Taken, he was known for complex emotional roles. After Taken, he became a symbol of relentless, righteous fury, the father who would stop at nothing. That shift didn't just make him rich, it made him timeless. Even younger generations who never saw his early dramas now knew exactly who he was, the man with the voice you don't mess with. Then came Non-Stop in 2014, the movie that proved Taken was no fluke. In this high-tension thriller, Neeson played an air marshal trapped on a plane with a killer among the passengers. The setup was simple, but the execution was perfect. Non-Stop cost around $50 million to make and ended up grossing $222 million worldwide. And here's the kicker. Liam Neeson earned $20 million for the role. That's nearly half of the entire production budget. One man, one airplane, and a $20 million paycheck. For most actors, that would be a once-in-a-lifetime payday. For Neeson, it was just another week at work. And that's the secret to his success: consistency. Studios know that if Liam Neeson signs on, the movie will make money. It might not always win awards, but it will always find an audience. He's the kind of actor who brings credibility to chaos, the calm center in a storm of explosions and plot twists. That's why, even when some critics roll their eyes at another Liam Neeson thriller, audiences keep showing up. Because his movies deliver exactly what fans expect: intensity, heart, and just enough mystery to keep them hooked. Across the Taken trilogy alone, Neeson pocketed around $40 million. Add in Non-Stop, Battleship, Wrath of the Titans, and countless other thrillers like Unknown, The Commuter, and Run All Night, and it's easy to see how his fortune hit 9 digits. Even now, studios are still offering him major roles with salaries between $10 million and $20 million per film. And he's not slowing down. But what's truly fascinating is how Neeson built his wealth without ever becoming a typical celebrity. He lives quietly, rarely makes headlines for personal drama, and stays out of social media entirely. When he's not filming, he's either at home in upstate New York or spending time in Ireland. That low-profile lifestyle has made him one of Hollywood's most respected figures, a man who lets his work speak for itself. Even now, at 73, Neeson continues to work steadily, not because he needs the money, but because he still loves storytelling. In interviews, he said that acting gives him purpose, and that while the paychecks are nice, what matters most is the craft. That humility is rare in an industry that often forgets its veterans. Yet Neeson stands apart, not chasing fame, just quietly building one of the most successful acting careers of all time. His story is a reminder that sometimes, the biggest success comes when you least expect it. Taken wasn't supposed to make him a megastar. Non-Stop wasn't supposed to dominate the box office. But they did, because audiences believed in the man at the center of the story. They believed in Liam Neeson. And that belief turned him into one of Hollywood's most bankable actors, with a career that keeps defying age and expectation. So, what's the takeaway? Liam Neeson isn't just an actor, he's a one-man box office. His name alone can sell a movie, his voice alone can carry a trailer, and his presence alone can justify a multi-million-dollar budget. Over 100 films, $11 billion in box office revenue, and a career that keeps proving it's never too late to reinvent yourself. At this point, Liam Neeson isn't just a performer, he's a brand. A brand built on discipline, intensity, and that rare kind of charisma that doesn't fade with time. In an industry obsessed with youth and flash, Neeson stands as proof that substance still sells. Because at the end of the day, audiences don't just pay to see explosions, they pay to see the man who can make them believe every word he says. So whether he's rescuing his family, fighting gods, or outsmarting villains mid-flight, Liam Neeson continues to do what he's always done best: deliver. And for that, Hollywood continues to reward him, one multi-million-dollar role at a time.